when you need a vitamin supplement or whatsoever, particularly over the last decades, many of the only real sources were human health food stores. And so if you wanted a vitamin E, an anti-inflammatory, and tocopherols to add for the skin, you would go to one of your people things, you pick it off the shelf, and you take it home and you start giving it to them. And even if it had the GNC label and you went through all the criteria and it was very good, two things start giving us complications with our dogs. One, dogs are dogs. And your dog and my mini flock of Bernese Mountain Dogs all have idiosyncrasies. Some of them are really good at taking pills. Some of them are really bad at taking pills. And it's our job as the pet parent that needs the vitamin D or the omega whatsoever to get it into them one way or the other. This is a liquid. They don't like the flavor of fish, and you pour it on the food. It isn't going to work. The company does make it in capsules, so that's one thing that gives us an advantage. Sometimes there are multiple forms that we can get the goodies into the patient, so to speak. But let's say you're using 2 or 3 or 4 different products. Now you got 2 or 3, 4 different pills. So you have one aspect of what I call the polypharmacy dilemma. And the polypharmacy dilemma is now you got to get these 4 pills into the dog and 4 contraptions, whereas in some of the veterinary formulated products that have skin targeting or intestinal targeting or arthritis targeting or heart and cardiac targeting, the groups that are generally used for that are in one package or one formula or in one pill or in one powder, and you just got to get that one thing into them. That gives us an advantage on administration and eventually an advantage on compliance and getting the prescribed medicine into the patient. Because the best stuff in the bottle, if it's sitting at the bottom of the food bowl and not in the patient, isn't doing anybody any good whatsoever. And it's even worse if you don't know what's in the bottom of the bowl and you think Fido's getting it when they're not getting it. So that's one dilemma with polypharmacy that we're going to continue looking at. So a company that manufactures more than one thing in a given package or a given bottle or a given product or in a given administration dose might be easier in the long run to give to our pets. So that's one thing to think about. The second problem with getting, that example of 4 things from the local health food store, or GNC or whatever is that local health food store around the corner from you guys, is the people products, assuming their quality and they've been tested on people and they've got good results and good reviews and they're GNC and whatsoever, the people products aren't going to have the NASC on it, are they? Because they're not concerned about, the people aren't concerned about the National Animal Council, but they are concerned about GNC, so we can use that as a go-to. The problem with people products, even if they've had clinical trials, is they've gone into people intestinal tracts. Think about that. The pH and absorption of the human intestinal tract is not the same as Fido's. And so a product that can easily be absorbed from my intestinal tract might be zapped by the acidity, the acid change in my intestinal tract when you put it in. And so it might go from this effective to maybe totally ineffective. So we have to be careful when we're using human products in the canine just for that reason, because what we don't want is the false sense of security is if it worked on Uncle Sam, and it's working on your maybe on yourself whatsoever, it's not guaranteed to be absorbed as well in Fido's intestinal tract. Sometimes that's the only chance that we can get. But now, today, in this decade, we have several good companies that are making quality polypharmacy products that have been tested in the canine intestinal tract that are absorbed and will give us really good results. So I'm all in favor of making it easy to get the stuff into my dogs. And I'm continually researching company A over company B over company C on which one has the best absorption and the best combination for my pets.